welcome back to our show. Tonight we're going to be talking about the darkness of addiction, the bright shining light of recovery, and how that led to a social enterprise right here in Oregon City. I'm really happy tonight to be joined by Chelsae Thompson from Imprisoned Outreach. So let's get to work and start the conversation. Good evening, Chelsae.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Tell me, what is Imprisoned Thrift Store and Outreach?
Imprisoned Thrift Store and Outreach is a thrift store nonprofit in Oregon City. We've been in Oregon City for 7 years now, and all of our proceeds help people into recovery programs.
How does that work? I mean, the proceeds help people in recovery programs. Describe that. What happens?
So we are set up as a boutique thrift store just right off the street of Malala Avenue in Oregon City, and a lot of our customers know someone or the customer has been affected personally with addiction. So they may come into our store, they may be struggling with addiction, and really it's anything life-altering. So it doesn't have to be a substance abuse. It could be codependency, it could be eating disorders, it could be depression, like anything that's holding you in bondage. And so when we come in contact with them and they realize that we have tools and we have resources that can help them through their hard time, we connect them with other nonprofits and that are out of state because the success rate is higher, sending them out of state into recovery programs. And so we come beside them as a family and we get them to where they need to be.
Okay. So what are you providing that all these other social service agencies and Alcoholics Anonymous and whatnot aren't doing? What role are you filling that?
Yeah, I don't really like to say we're doing something that they're not doing, but really we are collectively doing things together. So everyone has their own path in recovery, and what we do is we believe in a 12-month program that's faith-based, and really what that provides is people to really receive deep healing into their recovery. So ultimately, when someone's struggling with addiction, I like to tell people, it's like you're walking outside, you fall down, you broke your leg, and you personally cannot heal yourself. And so you need a doctor, you need a cast wrapped on. And so what these programs provide is that doctor to come beside. They're able to seek the Lord at that time. They're able to really seek their inner soul and really reach out for something greater than themselves to receive deeper healing. And so we provide connecting them with those nonprofits. We provide ourselves as a family beside them. But I wouldn't say we're any better or we provide something that others don't. We are just one piece in the puzzle, and everyone has their own path. So we really like to respect everyone has a way that they want to go.
So you talked about that process of healing.
Yes.
You've been through that as well.
I have.
Tell us about your story.
Yeah, so I've been clean a little over 5.5 years. Mm-hmm. When I needed help, my parents were currently running our thrift store. I had actually gone through a relapse when we opened our store. And I think that was a really powerful time because during that time, I had relapsed because I had put my identity into our store. I had put my identity into what my life was going to be made of, and things were going, people would look up to me and I would be giving back. But truthfully, you have to receive your recovery and genuine healing because it's something you want inside. And so when I started on my journey, when I hit rock bottom and I relapsed, I really, I would say that relapse really helped me. It brought me to a place of wanting my recovery for myself. And so when I reached out to my parents for help, they connected me with a nonprofit that was down in LA. It was called the Dream Center. And I was able to get on my journey then. Does that answer your question?
Oh, yeah, it sure does. So let's step back even further.
Yeah.
How did you progress? How did you get started in addiction?
I got started in addiction like a lot of people do. A lack of identity in ourselves. Especially in the world, everyone's telling you what you should look like, how you should talk, what you should wear, what you should weigh. At the time, I didn't have a father figure in my life, and he was absent, and so I had a lot of just deep rejection issues, and I went through my own traumas and relationships, and so with that, as a young girl at that time, It hits other people differently than others, and it hit me pretty dramatic. And so I sought my acceptance and my identity, unfortunately, in my body image. So I went through some eating disorders, which then turned into drug addiction, and then some codependency stuff with relationships. And it's just like, it's a fast downward spiral. Yeah, that's how I got started.
You got like the whole menu there, didn't you?
Yeah, I've hit it all.
Yes,
I've hit it all.
Okay,
But what's super cool is like, even though you can go through so much, the root cause is the same thing. So you go through different seasons in your life to numb the same pain, and it's just ultimately not what you're doing to numb the pain. It's, are you to the point that you want to get rid of the hurt, you know, in that deep wound? And that's what these 12-month recovery programs provide. It's for 12 months somebody can take their time and really seek within themselves, what am I doing? These are the behaviors I've done, but like, what is it that's really brought me to this place? And that's why I believe in the programs we send people to. And ultimately, like, I would lay on my bed in my recovery program and just be like, God, you know, we can talk about drugs all day long. We can talk about how, you know, beautiful we are and how we're perfect, just like how God's made us. But ultimately, I need you to heal me. Like, I need you to come down, heal me, renew me, transform me, and I need it to be authentic. Like, I can't have it be cliche. And so that's my recovery. It's something that's really hit home with me. I believe in it. So
5.5 years and clean.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Tell me about your life now. What are you doing in your life besides the store?
Yeah, you know, I love serving in our store. It's a time for me to just give back to our community. Really, ultimately, I'm starting my own business. It's going to be, it's called Pardon Lifestyle, and it's a yoga and health and awareness. And ultimately, pardon came about because pardon in meaning, it means just get rid of. Let's just like wash it away, get rid of, like forgive. And it's a time for you to get on your yoga mat and just like move through your movement, move through your breath work, and just let everything go. And every time I get off my yoga mat, because I've now been certified as a yoga instructor, I just feel good, you know? And ultimately, yoga goes cross paths with drug addiction, with renewing the mind and reframing the mind. Because with your breath work and with your movement, it like literally, I feel like yoga is almost like a cognitive therapist, just like with yourself though. So it just reframes your mind, and that's ultimately what I want to give back now to our community. So we have our store, we have a place for people to come to get help, and now through that, how can I serve just like the daily person that could be going through depression or anxiety or just like stress? Well, they can come to class and they can just lay it all down and hopefully feel better.
So the pardon, you're calling it pardon, so I imagine that you're setting out to address some of the shame and guilt that people carry around because of their life, how they've lived.
You know, I don't really like to like address anything like, you know, come if you're feeling shameful or guilty or this and that, but just like come as you are. Like none of us need to know why you're coming. Like your life could be absolutely awesome. And your awesome day, you just want to lay it down on the ground and just have that moment of bliss and just have a relaxing moment, you know, like you're taking a really good nap. Like it could be like a great day, but you just want to like let it all go.
A really good nap sounds fine right now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how Pardon came around, and 25% of the proceeds that will be made through Pardon will be donated back into MSEED. So the whole reason why Pardon is coming around.
Another social enterprise then.
Yeah, so it's going to, you know, continue to sow back into the community, because that's ultimately why I started it in the first place.
You have a whole family of entrepreneurs.
We do.
So tell me about the origins of MSEED, the thrift store, and your mother's story.
Yeah, so my parents started it, like I said, 7 years ago, and I've only been clean 5.5 years. So they started it when I was actually court-ordered into a program, and at that time, it was super cool. I would sit on our bathroom floor in our recovery program like for an entire week, and I would be praying. I'd be like, God, why am I here? I know why I'm here. I'm court-ordered here. I hate my life. So just use me. You know, you get really dramatic when you're young, and you're like, God, use me. There's got to be a reason for my life. And so I was always seeking God, like, it sounds bad, but like when you're growing up in youth group, like God has a purpose for you. So you're always like, me, God, me, but you're never really like cool with yourself. Like you're always looking at the world and not looking internally. So during that time, God humbly gave me the name for our store, and it's called M-Seed, which stands for the mustard seed in the Bible. And it's just, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. So what's cool is during that time, we got one phone call a week. And my mom was like, Chelsea, I think we're going to open up a thrift store. And I was like, wow, that's really weird because I think I have the name for it. So it gave both of us confirmation that God had us both where we were supposed to be. Unfortunately, it goes back to me relapsing. So I had put my identity into it rather than taking that year to really receive healing, which I believe, though, God like planted that seed, just like M-Seed stands for. He gives us hope. He meets us where we're at. And what he did is when I did hit rock bottom and I went through my addiction again, I had that hope. I had that I know that I have a plan and a purpose for my life, but ultimately if I lose everything, I just need healing now. So my parents started the store 7 years ago. They completely stepped out in faith. They're amazing. My parents, they're very, very successful. My mom was in real estate. She had no idea about how to run a thrift store, how to run a nonprofit, but she believed this is what God wanted her to do. So that's why I call her my angel, because she's the most selfless person. And ultimately, she's done it all volunteer for the past 7 years.
Started out with just a little bit of faith, like a mustard seed.
Yeah.
And so it's
and not very many people would work for free for 7 years. So I think she's an angel.
Good. So if somebody wanted to find out more about mustard seed or M-Seed, or if they need some help, how do they reach you?
People can come directly into our store. We're at 124A Malala Avenue in Oregon City, as well as reach out to us on our website, which is mseedoutreach.com, as well as give us a phone call. And we can start the application process and get them into the correct program that is going to best suit them and make that connection.
Well, thank you for being with us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck to
wonderful.
you, and please send along our wishes to your family for continued success. And we love having these kind of social enterprises here in Oregon City that are doing business and doing well for the community. So thanks to Chelsae Thompson and folks at M-Seed, and thank you for joining us once again. Have a good evening.